Now, I'm aware we live in a very internet driven world where everyone's opinion matters. You don't want to insult anyone for thinking the way they do. And you know what? Your opinions do matter. I do my best to look at every aspect of entertainment, wrestling, whatever. Whatever subject I talk about, I look at in shades of gray. You know? Although you might have a different opinion from mine, and although I don't necessarily agree with it or won't be on board with it 100%, I can at least find some truth in it. Like, for instance, some guy named Smojo, a new wrestler in WWE, not Samoa Joe, but Smojo. This guy comes in, and I don't like how he talks. But you may like him because he makes you laugh. And I go, oh, well, it's kind of funny, I can get that. Or some other guy comes in, and I don't like how he wrestles. But you might find him attractive. And I go, I can see that. Some other girl, I might like, actually. I think she is absolutely gorgeous, and I think she's great at what she does. And you go, I don't like how her hair color is. It's kind of annoying. And I go, I can see it. I always try to see things from your perspective. And at least at the end of the day, understand where you're coming from. When it comes to this subject, wins and losses in wrestling, I am completely black and white on it. In my opinion, I believe wins and losses do matter, and anyone that says differently does not know what they're talking about. Now, that's just my opinion, and hear me out on this. The reason I think this way is because I believe wins and losses do so much for the sport of wrestling. Even though it is kayfabe, it is scripted, predetermined, it's still a sport that we're creating in a world that's just predetermined. It's still a sport. And for it to be a sport, there has to be some kind of a ranking system, a wins and loss record. And anything above that is just not going to work. So, here are my 3 issues that I want to point out when it comes to this whole argument that wins and losses don't matter. And during this video, you are free to give me your thoughts about it down below, if you agree or disagree. Issue number 1. There are people in the wrestling business that will tell you wins and losses don't matter. It's all about the money you make. It's all about getting money and feeding your family. Which, I can respect that. I can respect that whole view on being a bread maker to, put food on the table because you might be the only one. Sometimes you're not. Maybe the wife is working too, but more than likely, you're the one that's making the money. And I can respect that. Although I will say, depending on what you are, what your star power is, and how much you've done in the wrestling business, you're going to make more than the average wrestler. John Cena makes more than Adam Rose. Randy Savage makes more than Dean Malenko. It's just how it is. Sting will make a lot more than freaking Kevin Owens, unfortunately. And no, not unfortunately, because he's a legend. Well, that's just how it is, man. But besides that being an argument right there, how do you think those guys are able to make more money? Because they're established characters, because they've been around longer, and they've, accomplished a lot of championships, which is done by winning matches. I guess we haven't thought about that, did we? But getting back to my point here. Let's take that same argument. I'm only in this for the money to feed my family. Okay. Football. Apply to football. Peyton Manning makes a lot more than Mario Williams. Of course, Michael Vick makes a lot more than the other guy. You get the idea. Tell any football player that it doesn't matter that you win or lose. It's all about you making that money. And they make a lot of money. Thousands to millions of dollars. But no football team wants to be a football team that makes millions of dollars and can't win a single game. Because why would any fan of that team go see them if they can't win a game? Seriously, that makes no sense. There is no football player in the NFL right now that does not want to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl championship. Otherwise, why even be in football? Why be there? If you're not there to win, what's the point? What's the point of being in football? Same thing goes with basketball. LeBron James makes a lot more money than, I don't know, name a basketball player. Some guy, you know? Okay, well, if LeBron James, as much as he makes, doesn't win a championship ring, does it really matter to him that he makes millions of dollars? No! He cares about winning, going to the playoffs, and getting that championship. He could care less about how much money he makes. He has enough money. It's all about winning. Wins and losses do matter in sports. Something you can say about hockey. And same thing to soccer, any place. But we go to wrestling. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. And yes, it is predetermined. And I got that. But if we're going to create a world that is a sport, it needs to freaking matter. What's the point of having championships if wins and losses don't matter? Oh, so what? Everyone's a champion? Doesn't matter if you win or lose, because you're not the best. And that's a scenario that we see nowadays with Seth Rollins, man. This guy is the world champion, and he's losing more times than he wins, and nobody takes him seriously. If that's the point, it's a terrible way to book your champion. Let's be real. Nobody wants to see that. Who wants to see a champion that loses a lot? Who wants to watch a team that loses a lot? Here's a big fact. Fans do not like losers. And by losers, I don't mean social status losers, like dorks. You're a loser. No, that's not what we're saying. Fans don't want to get invested in someone they cannot trust to actually get the job done. People want to see winners. People want to see people win, accomplish things. They want to see them do big things in life. So to say that you're only in it for the money and you're not in it to win anything, that's just ridiculous. And it should be like that in the world of wrestling. Otherwise, why should fans get invested? Why should fans like you? Yeah. Why should fans buy your t-shirt? Oh, but you make a lot of money, right? You can make more money if you win. You know, and that gets to my second argument that I want to get to. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's all about the performance. It's all about having a good match. You know something? There is nobody that I know that has a better match than Shawn Michaels. Perhaps the absolute best in-ring performer in the world to ever exist. One of them, at least. But I personally would not give a rat's ass about Shawn Michaels if the guy could not win a single freaking match. If Shawn Michaels did not become one of the first ever, if not the first ever, Grand Slam champions in WWE, did not win 2 Royal Rumbles, did not beat The Undertaker, does not form Degeneration X, does not do anything but have good matches, but never wins? Do you think he'd be a legend right now? Do you think we would be talking about how awesome the Heartbreak Kid is? You think he'll be going around talking about, I will give you a show that you have never seen before. Why? Because I can. No! You wouldn't care because he doesn't win. Do you care? Would you care if The Undertaker didn't go undefeated at WrestleMania? If he went every single WrestleMania match and didn't win a single one? Didn't win a championship? Would you care about the Dead Man, the Phenom? Would you go see him? No. Yes, his gimmick is awesome. One of the best gimmicks in the world. But you don't give a shit if he doesn't win a match. The Rock. You can have The Rock go out there and spit out all kinds of catchphrases. From Rudy Poo to Candy Asses to If Your Smells to Finalies to, stick it up your candy ass and stuff like that. And it will entertain you. But if The Rock can't back it up, if The Rock goes out there, talks crap, but never backs it up, would you care about him? No. What makes The Rock awesome is the fact that he talks crap and then backs it up. Same thing goes for Stone Cold Steve Austin. If Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't stumping a malt hole and walking it dry, but he was losing all his matches, would you care? No. You need to do more than just have good matches. Good matches are fine, but it's not going to make people invest in you. Why should people invest in losers? And I'll get to the other side of that argument because some of you are saying, well, Sami Zayn doesn't win a lot. Shawn Michaels didn't necessarily win a lot either during his second run. And, you're going to make your other arguments like Daniel Bryan doesn't win a lot. Yeah, that's true. Here's the thing. They won at some point. At some point for them to be top stars or to be considered be taken seriously, they have to have won something. Daniel Bryan is a former world champion, WWE champion. You know? Sami Zayn, yes, let's talk about Sami Zayn for a second. When he first came in, he won some matches. What made Sami Zayn special in his losses is that he didn't just outright lose. He got that close to winning and lost. That's what makes it special. It's one thing to lose a match when you're that close to winning. It's one thing to have the jaws of victory slapped from you. I don't know how that phrase goes. You know what I'm trying to say. It's one thing to be close to winning and you don't win. Okay? It doesn't make any sense to just go completely all your freaking career and not win a match. Because why should we care? That's not how it works, man. You can have great matches all you want. But at the end of the day, if you can't get the job done, fans are not going to pay money to see you. Okay? Fans want to get behind someone that, although he might not win every single match, and I'm not saying you have to win every single match, you have to at least have a better ratio of winning than losing. Unlike Seth Rollins, who's your world champion right now, why nobody's watching him. And also, have you ever noticed that you don't see people like The Rock, Austin, Mick Foley, Sting, Shawn Michaels, Taker, great names, Hulk Hogan, saying wins and losses don't matter? It's always those people. It's always those people who, honestly, never amounted to anything. Now, granted, there are a couple of exceptions. Chris Jericho and CM Punk. Chris Jericho, is... And let me talk about Chris Jericho for a second. Yes, he's someone that says wins and losses don't matter. It's all about the performance. What Chris Jericho doesn't realize is that you can say that now because you're already a legend. It's easy for someone like John Cena and Chris Jericho and even The Rock and Shawn Michaels to say it because they're already established, guys. Chris Jericho can retire tomorrow. He's still going to be the guy that beat Austin and Rock at the exact same night and to be the first undisputed champion. But to do that and to get that accolade, he had to what? Win. It matters. Okay? Same thing goes for CM Punk. See, CM Punk, I love CM Punk. This is one of the only things I disagree with him when it comes to, his whole podcast with Colt Cabana. He talks about in the podcast, wins and losses don't matter. But then he goes on to say, by the way, Colt Cabana disagreed with that statement. But then he goes on to say that what matters to me is the fact that I would lose to Taker and Brock Lesnar, and they would go away. They would take his credibility. Which I think doesn't make any sense because CM Punk, if that matters, then what you're saying is you don't like the fact that you lose to them and they just go away. Because then when you come back the very next night and you're there, they see you as the loser. Which means losing does matter because if you lose, that means that guy that beat you is better than you. Why should I watch you and think that you're better than The Undertaker when The Undertaker beats you? Wins and losses do matter. And the fact that someone like, I need an example. Who happens? Big Show and Kane. Someone like those two can lose 10,000 freaking matches and then get a title shot against the Seth Rollins just because. That makes no sense. John Cena can get 10,000 opportunities. Can lose 99,999 and then get the 10,000th one to win the championship. Because he's John Cena. That's not how it works. Fans don't get invested in you. Why should they care? It's like, where's the connection? Okay? How it works is that we need to get people invested in the whole idea that if you work hard, that if you study your craft, and that you're the best at your craft, you can be very successful in life. You will surpass others who aren't working as hard, who aren't studying as hard as you do. There is no way you're going to create that feeling if you have someone just lose, and then get a championship shot. It's part of the reason why a Divas Championship doesn't mean much anymore. And it's not Nikki Bella's fault, ultimately. It's the fact that most of these girls who won the championship, Some of them went on losing streaks. And it's not just the women's championship, but the Divas championship, excuse me. I don't know why I said women's, because I want the women's championship. But the Divas championship, it's the Intercontinental championship and the U.S. championship. Some of these guys go on losing streaks and win the championship. And that was supposed to believe they're one of the best things in the world. That's not how you create stars. That's part of the reason why WWE is struggling, because they're not letting these guys pick up victories. Someone like a Cesaro can go on a hot streak and then all of a sudden go on a losing streak. And then you throw him in a championship match and we're supposed to believe that he's going to win? And then they wonder why fans don't get invested in them. It makes no sense. You don't see that on shows like NXT. Oh no. It doesn't happen that way. Before a Bayley gets a women's championship shot, she at least has to beat a Charlotte, a Becky Lynch, and, other women to get that title shot. Before Sami Zayn, fought Neville, he won a number one contendership match. He had to earn it. Wow, what a concept. And therefore, when they do win that championship, the fans get behind them because they see them working hard. They see them climbing the ladder. They see them actually trying to go for it. They hear the stories of them struggling, of them crying, of them bleeding, sweat and tears to get to that championship. They believe it because they see it. It's right there in front of them. And so when they win it, they get invested into it. And that's why fans care more about NXT and Lucha Underground than WWE. Because wins and losses matter in those companies. Wins and losses need to start mattering in every single wrestling promotion. Sports entertainment promotion, whatever. Because that is essential. It is very essential to creating new talent, creating new stars, developing characters, storylines. Why would you have a babyface chase a world champion for a year? Only for him, first of all, try and get that championship shot. But only for him to get to that championship match and then lose. What was the point of that storyline? That makes no sense. What's the point of having a character that loses but doesn't feel it, but doesn't, get angry, that doesn't get frustrated? What's the point? And what's the point of having a guy that wins that doesn't get anything out of it? There's no point. Everything they do, every principle, everything in wrestling should matter. And I am someone that will wholeheartedly defend the whole idea of wins and losses matter. Anybody that disagrees with it, I am sorry. I don't think you know what you're talking about. But you are still free to leave your comments down below. If you disagree, of course. But hey, I'll read your comment. I just don't think you're going to convince me otherwise. But if you agree, comment anyways. Like this video. Share it. I want to get people's opinions on this. Maybe there's another point that you can make that I didn't make. By the way, this is like the third video attempt I tried to this. I tried one earlier. It didn't work out. Tried another one about an hour ago. Didn't like it. So hopefully this one comes out okay. But let's start a discussion, guys. Give me your thoughts down below. Do you think wins and losses matter in wrestling? If not, tell me why. If you do, tell me why. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys at my next video. This is your boy, Deluxe Man, signing off. Peace.